Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to our virtual study visit tour, today that is devoted to EURAXESS Mentoring Programme. I'm really happy to see you all here. What we will have today as a program, just to inform you and to plan your time, we will have a coffee break at 11:15. In the first part of today's tour, we will present the international program. Then we will start with the introductions and introducing each other. And then we will have our first testimony today with an invited mentee. Then we will have a demonstration of the automatic tool. We will go online and you'll see the program from inside, how it works. Then a second testimony, and we will have a very short session on additional activities that we run to support the mentoring program. After the coffee break, we will have a testimony from an invited Ukrainian researcher, and afterwards I will share with you how we cooperate with other programs and initiatives. After the question and answers session, we have an invited mentor, and we will share a bit more details about our internal mentoring program at Sofia University that just started and that is based on our automatic tool. We will tell you a bit more about mentoring at Sofia University, and we will have a group discussion. So this is the agenda for today. And now I would like to start with a presentation of our international program. I am really happy to invite my colleague Albena, that started from the very beginning and contributed a lot to developing the program itself. Albena, are you here with us?
Yes, hello everybody. I hope that you see me. Hello. I tried to put the EURAXESS behind my back, the EURAXESS sign, but
yes,
unfortunately,
it works. We see it. We see it.
Unfortunately, it's vice versa. So sorry for being a little bit late for showing me up.
Okay,
so,
the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Svetlana, and I'd like really to welcome you warmly on this event. And I hope that this is a very crucial when we have a good experience to share it and to see what is working, what is not working, and how to implement the good practices all around the world. So let me introduce shortly the EURAXESS Mentoring Programme. It was part of our top 4 EURAXESS project, and this is our teams that we needed to implement a pilot initiative for about 10 couples for international mentoring program. So this was before COVID. It was before closing the borders, before closing the universities, and we just thought how to be useful for researchers around the world, from experienced researchers and young researchers, to cooperate together and to see the international dimensions of academia career. So we started with a pilot initiative. It was designed for 10 couples, but after all the events that happened, we realized actually that it is much more, it provides much more opportunity. So now we have more than 175 couples up to date. So this is a quite amazing success. So we have the mentoring program tool that is in EURAXESS website, And this makes it available for everybody around the world to join and to take the opportunity to find mentees and mentors. Oh, Svetla, you're so fast. I cannot follow all the interesting issues. So could you please go
Sorry.
back?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yes. One slide back.
How it goes back?
Yes. Sorry. I just wanted to say a little bit more about the
No,
how we started.
How it goes back? It doesn't work with arrows and
No. Okay.
previous. Yes, I saw it.
Thank you. Sorry.
Sorry again.
Yes. So what I wanted here to say is that, okay, we have 175 couples that successfully work or already finished their work of mentoring, but we have more than 8,800 researchers who are registered, and this is a really great number. So it means that these are people who are volunteer to help someone to go further in their career. So we have about 169 mentors, and this is one of the key issues in our program, that having more mentors make it more meaningful for the mentees. So this is something that we have to work how to attract more mentors. But the good thing is that there are more than 50 countries in the list and more than 30 specialities. And this is quite interesting because it provides a good opportunities for interdisciplinary research. So, for example, this is something that we came up later on with implementation of the program, that actually this can foster many researchers not only to think for how the research is done in another area of the world, but how to make connections between different disciplines. Thank you. So what is the objectives of the mentoring program? First, to facilitate mobility of researchers. So this was one of the main objectives, how to facilitate researchers from around the world to come to Europe and to reflect more about what they can expect in European academia institutions. But it turned out to be very useful for encouraging knowledge transfer, knowledge sharing of good practices, and what we do today is sharing good practices, to raise awareness of the importance of soft skills. So actually many of the mentees that due to this mentoring program, they reflected and they recognize how important are the soft skills, and to strengthen the links between research institutions and academia from ERA and EURAXESS worldwide. So this is actually to make it work. And so the benefits of taking part in the programs are for the both parts, for the for the mentors and for the mentees. So when we designed the initial concept of the program, we thought how to be useful for both parts. And for the this mentoring program aims to build experience and for mobility projects, for networking opportunities, for increasing knowledge, skills, and career perspective, to make international research collaborations. So we have a lot of good examples and a lot of experiences that really showed that it works. For example, joint papers, joint projects, new working places. So it was really fantastic, and actually to open to share skills, knowledge, and experience, and to widen how the other, the perspective, how the other organizations work. So there are two target groups: the early stage researchers, usually coming from third countries, and interested in international mobility in European country, and highly skilled researchers who support the integration of researchers coming from third parties, from third countries in a European country. So we have designed 6 main topics and 6 meetings between the mentors and the mentees to be held during 6 months. So it's not too time intensive because we realize that the researchers are very busy people, but actually the 6 topics of discussion, so every meeting is dedicated on one specific topic. So the first topic, so there are 6 predefined topics, and the mentors and mentees together have to decide to work on one or two. I think that it was 3 out of these 6 as compulsory. So first is about career counseling.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, so it's about career counseling, but the most important is about publications and presentations, how to make good publications, advancing professional networking opportunities, then career opportunities outside academia. This is quite important and interesting skills, funding opportunities, and introduction to open science policies. What it comes that open science is actually a new topic, and even in European countries, this topic was not really popular, but we need to discuss it and to talk about open science in more occasions and in more opportunities. So this is something that maybe we have to think how to increase in the future. So what are the key elements of the program? First, it's online. Long before going with all these limitations, we decided everything to be open and everything to be available in online format. So the mentees and the mentor has to decide which kind of platform to use and how to schedule their 6 online meetings. Then we decided and we asked mentors and mentees to schedule about 6 online sessions within a 6-month period. So we decided that 1 week, one meeting per month is not too much. Then it's very important that since the beginning, this is a voluntary program. So mentors and mentees are willingly participating in the program and do this because they want to. The language of the program is English, but mentors and mentees can decide to collaborate with each other on another language. We have experiences where mentors and mentees decided to work together on Spanish, on Portuguese, or other languages. So this is a flexibility we provide all to feel good in this program. So this has to work for the both parties. The mentors should be experienced researchers who feel that they can be helpful and they can provide advice to early stage researchers. So the basic requirements is that they have to have more than 4 years of research experience, to have a PhD degree, to work in European country, or to have experience in working in European country, and to have significant research experience in third country. Yes, actually, the main concept here is about experience, to share experience and to share how it works for her, and to share their basic knowledge on academia, not on their specific fields of study, but on academia as a whole. The mentee is an early stage researcher, so in most of the cases, this is a PhD student or master student looking for PhD opportunities. This is a person interested in international mobility, in gaining knowledge for advancing their research career. Usually it's a person with none or between 1 to 4 years of research experience, are working and living in the third countries or in European countries. This is not really very strict where mentors and mentee live in, but we saw that when mentors and mentee register, a good match is when the both mentors and mentee are interested in a research experience in specific country. So this is something important. So for example, if somebody has experience in Great Britain and if somebody is interested in how to have experience in Great Britain, this works the best. So the content, we provide some guidelines. So what we do, first, with the tool, we facilitate matching or finding a good mentoring pair, and then we provide some guidance. And this is the content of the guidance, how to presenting what is mentoring, presenting the expectations. So this is crucial that since the beginning, the both parties has a good expectations, the right expectation, what they can expect from this program and how this program can work for them. So the mentoring process, the mentoring topics, the mentoring sessions, confidentiality and private issues, and the role of the mentoring program coordinator in the mentoring process. So we made a short video about that. And at the end of the mentoring relationship, actually most of the successful mentoring pairs say that this will not be at the end, but the beginning of their friendship and cooperation. But actually at the end, we provide a certificate of participation. Yes, and yeah, this is explained.
And also ask for feedback.
Yes, and feedback, of course. We are working to have the real insights from the mentoring program. We very carefully observe the negative feedback, the problems. There are some problems, some couples just couldn't work well together. So we investigated what are the main reasons, and it happens that to be successful, a mentoring relationship, both of the parties should be motivated and should see this as an opportunity. If some mentors are too busy or too occupied with other researchers, it's not working really well. But anyway, we make our conclusions and our modifications, and we try to serve the best. So these are some of the helpful tips for mentors and mentees. This is, of course, a human process, a personal process, so we have to approach it with empathy, with open heart, and to explore different kinds of communication skills and build up some more knowledge sharing techniques, knowledge sharing models. And it's about personal contact. So this is my main conclusion, that it works when this is personal. And actually this is an example of the certificate that we provide. And we are very happy that we have a LinkedIn community. We have a practice to organize monthly meetings with all the mentors and all the mentees, and we try to promote this kind of networking between them and to show them to speak directly on their experiences and to see what to speak what they can achieve or what they couldn't achieve or what are their problems, so in order to be involved in the process. So my point is that it's a great tool for academics, both mentors and mentees, and this can help a lot. So, but it is a human design tool, so it's based on personal communication. So we need a good skills to make it successful, to work both for mentors and for mentees. So I think that this was my part. Thank you, Svetla, for supporting me with the presentation. And
I thank you very much, and sorry for some going back and forth. But
yes.
You really contributed a lot for creation of the documents and principles of the program. So your experience in this is very valuable for our colleagues, and what you shared, I suppose it's important for them. Let's start with introductions now. This is an informal introduction. We will talk about ourselves, about our EURAXESS experience, what are our interests for developing ourselves, what are our interests for developing our research career service centers, and please share if you have ever had a mentor, and finally, what is your motivation? Why did you join this virtual study tour? So starting with me, I suppose some of you know me. I'm Svetlana Dimitrova, work for the Bridgehead Organization for Bulgaria. It is based in Sofia University, our biggest and most prestigious university in Bulgaria. And I am a very active member of the EURAXESS community. So one of my passions is really this mentoring program. And I'm glad to share with you today a lot of details about it. So maybe Albena, you share next about you.
My name is Albena Antonova, and I'm assistant lecturer and a PhD student actually in Sofia University. And we cooperate on several projects and international activities. And actually, this is quite important for me because some of the topics of my research is about knowledge management and knowledge sharing. And this is really not an automatic process. And when designing this program, we figure out how to make it work. So I have to apologize that today, unfortunately, we are at the end of the semester and we have some exams. And actually, after several minutes, we will start another examination round with the students presenting their projects. And this is why I could not stay longer, but I wish you a very useful experience today, and please do not hesitate to ask us or to ask me, and I'm really happy that you are here today and to share our knowledge with you. So thank you, and sorry for not being able to rest until the end of the program today.
Thank you very much, Albena. And now Agata.
Yes.
We hear you.
Yes, thank you. I have joined EURAXESS recently, so it's been a few months only, and I started big time with the conference where I met Svetlana, for example. So yes, a lot of my job is discovering what it's all about and finding about new things. I'm very happy that from the very beginning we could participate in the Ukrainian support initiative. So that was a very worthwhile way to begin. And yes, so everything is about developing for me right now. So I don't have a big plan because everything is so new for the moment. And I've never had a mentor. And yes, and that's it.
Thank you very much, Agatha. Now, Andrea.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
perfectly.
Thanks for this nice workshop today, for this session. I work at the RWTH Aachen, and in special I have to coordinate the staff mentor program. And so I match those who are working here together with new researchers. And it's equal, the status is equal. So it was very interesting for me to get to know how you are going to organize this training or this matching with mentor and mentee. So I never had a mentee, of course, because I'm organizing this program, and I'm really interested in how to organize that best. Yes, and thank you very much. This is what I wanted to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Now, Burcu, our neighbor from Turkey. Burcu, are you with us? Maybe she has some problems with the microphone. Donica, hi. This is my colleague from Bulgaria network. Donica,
Hi.
say a few
Hello.
words about you. Hi, we hear you. Please speak, Donica.
I'm sorry, I can hear you. I'm from Agricultural University of Plovdiv, and I'm interested of this program and this project, and I will be glad to be here with you, Svetlana.
Thank you very much. You're a newcomer in the EURAXESS network, and you're interested, as I know, that's why you joined this virtual study tour. You're interested to open an internal mentoring program in your university, right?
Yes, we work about that. Our university work about this document, and when it's ready, I will join all information with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Donica. Now, Gabi.
Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to see you again, Svetlana and others from Bulgaria. Greetings from Romania, from Valahia University of Târgoviște. I have some experience in EURAXESS field because I'm regional contact points by, I don't know how many years there are, but many.
From the beginning.
From the beginning, yeah. Probably I'm the oldest participant in EURAXESS, but it was a pleasure for me to know these people from EURAXESS engine, and I tried all this year to sustain our regional center with all the information, and also to sustain our researchers and international researcher who applied for our university. That's why I'm very interested to have these guidelines about mentoring, because Svetlana knows the EURAXESS Center function in the research institute, and in this research institute we have researchers, our own researchers from the university, but also some extra researcher from outside. That's why we are very interested to have some ideas, new ideas about the mentoring, in special researcher mentoring, and not at the least point for PhD students. Because there are few things who need to be implemented also in Romania regarding this process of mentoring. And I think that all these documents need to be more clear, and in this way the universities and the research institutes to be able to apply these things. Also, we try to sustain this Center for Career Development for our researcher and for other researchers, because we represent all the region, also other universities from our region. And I think this point related to career development in research need to be improved, because we have a lot of lacks in this field. Everybody knows, but nobody apply, and nobody can give coherent information for researchers. So I think it's necessary to bring together all these people and to promote this idea of mentoring and to implement correctly in our institutions. I had a mentor, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years ago when I made my PhD. It was another kind of mentor, and I think that a good mentor can change in a good way your life.
Thank you very much, Gabi. This is a really inspiring speech on your behalf. You're rector of your university, which
I'm a vice rector in
vice rector,
research.
sorry. So from this capacity, it's very important to be with us today, because you give us another perspective on mentoring as a tool for improving career development services at our universities. So Burcu wrote us in the chat that she works as project officer in the Research Coordination Office of Middle East Technical University, Ankara, Turkey. The abbreviation is METU. They are the first service center of EURAXESS in Turkey. And she joined this webinar today to get some information about the mentoring program and how we can reflect on it in our activities in EURAXESS. Thank you very much, Burcu. And now let's see what Leticia will share with us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. We hear you, Leticia. Go ahead. Maybe something with the connection. I see your mic is on, but for some reason, we heard only your question. Okay, then let's see what Simona can say about her, and then we will invite Leticia once again.
Once again, hello everyone. My name is Simona Mahutova. I work for SAIA, Slovak Academic Information Agency in Slovakia. In capital city Bratislava, we have EURAXESS BHO, but I work for regional office. So I'm from regional contact point of EURAXESS in Slovakia. And from 2018, so I have some experience, but I joined this this study tour because I was really interested in this topic. of mentoring program, and I'm joined because I wanted to know more about this program, how it works at CITARA, and of course in EURAXESS Hub project, I'm responsible for one of the tasks, which is knowledge sharing. So this virtual study tour is organized in the framework of EURAXESS Hubs. So that's all about me.
Thank you very much, Simona. I would like to invite Leticia once again, and if she has still problems with the mic, please share your details in the chat and I will read it. Are you here, Leticia? If not, let's Teresa start.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Therese Lindqvist. I work at Linköping University in Sweden. We were one of the first EURAXESS centers in Sweden, and I've been working within EURAXESS for 4 years in our service or our function called International Staff Support, where we have a centralized support for welcoming and introducing international researchers to our university. So we actually have a mentoring program within our career support. So in that sense, we've gotten started. We do still need some good input for that as well. But also I'm curious to see how to implement it in sort of a different aspect as well, of more welcoming and introducing inclusion, etc., as you were mentioning. And we do have sort of a buddy program for more practicalities when you arrive, so that you can get help when settling in. But we don't really have this sort of aspect of mentoring and inclusion as you have. So it's very interesting to see what we can bring home for possibilities for our own university. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Teresa. And do I pronounce the right way your name?
Yeah, it's Therese, but it's fine. It's
okay.
Internationally, it's usually Teresa, so it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so if Leticia doesn't didn't solve the issue with the mic, I don't see her even in the list. She maybe lost the connection. Then I will invite now to introduce themselves our guest speakers today. These are members of the mentoring program, and they will introduce them. I suggest that Elica introduce herself, the last one, because it's her turn just right after this session now. So she will introduce herself last. Prasida, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, you mean me? Sorry. Yes, okay. Sorry, I lost connection. So I'm Leticia Martinez and I work at
Leticia. Okay, great.
Sorry.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So I work at the University of Brussels, and I am interested in this because I am actually trying to collect as much information as I can, because I will set up myself a mentorship and training program on career development. So yes, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can. And I never had a mentor myself, although a couple of colleagues act like that. So yes, this is from me.
Thank you very much, Leticia. And now if Prasida is with us here, Prasida, go ahead and present yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Prasida, and I'm from India. And I joined the EURAXESS network as a mentee. I was a member of EURAXESS India before this. And so I got to know about the mentoring program, and I thought it was really very well organized, everything. And that is why I joined this mentoring program. And before this, I have had mentors, but in different capacities, but not in a continuous way like the mentoring program has. We always take guidance from people, so they are our mentors. And yes, I'm thankful to Svetlana for inviting me to share my experiences in this virtual study tour, and I will be presenting that after some time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. And Elita, it is now your turn. You may start presenting yourself and then share with us your experience. You have some slides, as I can see, or no?
No, I don't have really slides.
Okay, so I will keep this slide open and you will start.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elita. I'm a PhD student at Information Technology Department at Faculty of Mathematics and Informatics, Sofia University, St. Clement Ohridsky. And the topic of my thesis is methods and tools for supporting inquiry-based learning. I participated in another mentorship program called Research Beyond Academia Mentoring, or as acronym it was called Rebecca. And from after this program, when this program was finished, I received another opportunity from EURAXESS Bulgaria network to take a part in this new program, EURAXESS Mentoring Programme. So this is how I learned about this great thing. And I registered for this program because I wish to make new contacts and to create new professional relationships with someone from another country, from another part of the world. So also I was interested, and I'm always interested in collaborating with researchers from other countries. And this way I could enrich my knowledge and experience, and also I could share what I am working on as well. So after my registration, I chose the option to wait the system to match me with a mentor, because I registered myself as a mentee. So I registered, let's say, around the autumn, in the end of the summer, in the beginning of the autumn last year, 2021. And the system matched me with my mentor during November or December, something like this. So officially now my program is ended. This means that I already had a 6th meeting with my mentor. But after the official end, we negotiate with him. My mentor was from India, Professor Ajit Singh is his name, from Patna College. And we negotiate to continue our collaboration and our connection. Because I was happy to work with him, because he was really dedicated, and he is really responsive, reliable. So if anyone is looking for a mentor, I would recommend him also maybe I will go for another mentor, for another mentorship after my PhD defense, because now I'm a candidate. I mean, my pre-defense is approaching next week, and I'm going to defend in this year. So I will also recommend you, maybe this program also could catalyze and could help you for your research, but also for your defense too. And I would definitely recommend this EURAXESS mentoring program as a good experience.
Thank you very much, Elica. I think we have some time to invite our colleagues to ask you some questions.
Okay,
First
I'm
or
ready
later on. But since you
okay.
are also leaving us at a certain point, maybe it's a better idea to have them right now.
Yes, it will be nice if it's possible to do it right now.
So if you have any questions to Elica, if you're interested about details about her experience, just go ahead. Without raising hand, just...
I also could leave my contacts in the chat if you think it's a good idea.
Yes, please do. Please do.
May I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
Go
hi,
ahead.
this is me, Andrea. Thank you for this information. Thanks for telling us. But I was wondering, so when you meet each other, you are talking about research in general, or what is the main goal that you get when you talking together? So what is the concern? What are you talking about then?
Since I'm at my last stage of the PhD, I was much more interested about sharing about my research, and Professor Ajit Singh invited me to one of their conferences, international conferences. It was online, of course, but unfortunately maybe online because I have never been in India, but maybe in the near future I would have a chance also to go there in person. And it was quite good experience because it was quite big audience. It was in parallel sessions, and only in my slot, in my case, we were like almost 90 people. At this event, I also found one professor lady from another university, not his university, which was quite close to my topic, and it was interested for me to contact with her and to learn more about her researches. Okay. So this was not expected for me. I mean, I was not expected that I will have a chance to be invited to a conference, but this was a good opportunity that happened.
Thank you.
But maybe for the future, I will maybe I will ask for more career advice, how to continue, because I would say I'm interested in postdoc positions or other positions in the research area.
Okay, thank you very much, Elica. If we don't have any other questions.
Well, if I could, just one question.
Please, please.
Because Elisa, you had a great mentor, which is fantastic. I keep wondering how to encourage and how to find mentors, because for the mentees, I can see the merits. That's absolutely wonderful for them. But how to motivate mentors, how to find people who are willing to spend their time with the younger researchers, to encourage them to share their knowledge, that is not so evident for me. So does it depend on the personality of the mentor, or maybe some other, someone has some tips on how to motivate mentors to become mentors?
Okay, this is most probably question for me. So when you start something like this kind of program, this very specific and unique program, as you can see, there is nothing else like that in the world. So it's more or less kind of a cause. It's a volunteer program, and what I saw at the beginning, without any specific promotional efforts from our side, just posting it here and there that we open and we call for mentors. Mentees, of course, there are a lot, but when we posted that we look for mentors, I was surprised to see how many researchers, experienced researchers, would like to share their knowledge and would like to support young researchers and are open for spending their own time that is not too much free time with young researchers. So this is one of the moments that you have to count on a cause when you call for mentors. They need to understand well your reasons to invite them and their benefit as a mentor to improve the world or institutional research community by sharing.
Yes.
Later on, especially in the organizational program, we will come to this point later in the presentation, you'll see that there are other options to motivate them. But for this kind of program, the motivation should be really like contribution to the world research community.
Okay, thank you. So we're looking for the people with mission.
Yes, indeed. This is it. And they are not so little in number. I mean, I was really impressed how many researchers, experienced one, very engaged, are really ready to share their own personal time. For instance, we have mentors in the program that manage to mentor at the same time. You will see one of the examples later on with our invited mentor. 4 mentees simultaneously. There are other mentors, very successful ones in our program, that also managed to mentor more than 7 mentees. Not simultaneously, but one by one. And this was done in the first year of mentoring program, which means that they started the second mentorship even before they finished the first one. So it was really, really inspiring when I saw this example. Of course, we support them. Of course, we provide them with materials and advices. We do monthly meetings. You'll see this later. Also, we invite famous researchers to our monthly meetings to share their experience in mentoring and to inspire others. So this is it. Okay, I think for now it's okay if you don't have no more questions. Andrea, if you have technical problems, you can write down your question in the chat and we will answer. So I suggest that we continue our presentation of our mentoring program, and it will actually be a live demonstration. So for now, I stop sharing the slides and we'll start sharing the internet web page. Actually, this is not the one that I wanted to share. Yes. I don't see it for a while. Let me just go again back. I'm sorry for this, but now it should work. Finally. Here it is. This is a view that you will have when you're logged in. So if you're not logged in, you don't see this one, this part. Actually, this is the tool behind it. At the beginning, before registering, you are able to visit About Us section, where we mainly share some video recordings of testimonies, and also joint session with EURAXESS links about the experience of one of our famous mentors and one of her mentees. Then in the home page, you see details about the program, the stuff that Albena explained you. We share here key elements, topics, benefits, and how to be involved. Also some guidance on the mentoring sessions. And this is it. You have a news section about the institutional mentoring programs. We will talk later, and that's it. However, once you register and you are able to log in into the website, this is the amazing thing that you have. This is the tool. This is a tool that combines two functionalities. One of them is matchmaking, and it is based on the criteria that are listed in the mentoring agreement, and a searching tool. This is the searching tool, and it is also based on these criteria. So what you can do? First, let's take a look on the website itself. You can search by name, you can search by notification interval, and you can save your search. This is very important. If you choose to look for a mentor in, let's say, biological sciences, and if we press apply, you will see that we have 25 mentors available, of course, listed, not available. Some of them might be engaged already, but 25 registered mentors in this general area of research. You can see as well that 12 of them are with middle type of experience, between 4 and 10 years of experience. You have 10 researchers, mentors, that have much bigger experience, and we have some with very little experience. Also, they are here listed by country that they are based at the moment. Also, you can see a list of people that are that have significant research experience in specific countries. So you can choose by country of experience. If you're interested to do a research in this country specifically, in biological sciences, you press Bulgaria and you find 2 mentors here. What is more important than this fact is the option to save your search. If you just register and wait for the automatic matching tool to match you with a specific mentor, This program will look for your perfect match, fitting all of your criteria that you listed in the mentoring agreement. This means to be a mentor, to be with a specific research experience, years of research experience, to be in a specific current country, to have research experience in specific countries, at least one of those that you listed, to have one specific main research field, to have a research profile that is related to their level of research experience. And also you specify in your mentoring agreement the gender that you, if you would like to specify it or not. So the matchmaking tool looks for your perfect match. However, if you use the searching engine and you put only mentor and only main research field, and if you save your search, this way you program the engine to work differently from this moment on, and it will look only for matching these two criteria. That's why it is important, especially at the beginning when you don't have a critical mass of researchers in the registered in the program, and it cannot work properly, the tool. Then it's much better, even later on, when you register somewhere, it's important to be active, not to wait, but to be active, to look for, to see how it works, and to save your search. This is a certain way to get your mentor much faster. So now let's see what a possible mentee will find out when they visit a specific profile of a mentor. Even before going to the profile, they see basic stuff here. However, Estefania, which is one of our best mentors ever, if you visit her profile, you'll see that she's a female, she's currently based in Spain, that she has interest in a lot of countries, mainly from Latin America, and she has research experience between 4 and 10 years, and that she's a PhD holder, and that is at her stage R2, and her subspecialty is bioinformatics. Also, you have a link to her ORCID profile. So if you're a mentee and you would like to know more about your mentor before requesting mentorship, then you visit her ORCID profile and learn about her publications, her interests, her research developments. And finally, you see here the countries that she has experience, significant experience. This makes you able to choose a mentor that have experience in a country that you would like to visit and to spend more time there. And the final part is the listed topics from the 6 predefined ones that she is able to deliver as a mentoring topic within the specific mentoring plan. So as you can see, she's quite experienced, and she matched practically all the 6 topics. And this is very useful for a mentee because some of the mentors, for instance, cannot talk about open science. Okay, you looked in her profile, you see that is the person that you look for, and you press this button. Then the automatic tool starts working. It informs her, it informs us as well. And once she confirms, we send instructions, and you can start, if you're a mentee, you can start your mentorship following our instructions. If not, you go back. You go back and you start looking for another one. What I wanted also to show you is that, as I said, in general, currently we have in total 865 researchers. There are some profiles empty, that's why they are not listed here. There are some people that pressed register but didn't finish their registration. So this is the filter that shows what is their experience, which country they are based. As we mentioned, we have researchers registered in the program from more than 50 countries in the world. Having in mind that in total in the world we have about 150 or 80 countries, 50 is not a little number. This is more or less pretty much 1/3 of the world is represented here. And countries of experience, countries of interest, countries that they are based. What we are proud of right now, that we have already more than 30 specialties, main specialties, represented here in our program. This means the automatic matching can work properly alone, but still we always recommend to the mentees and to the mentors as well, if they register and would like to start immediately, to use the searching engine and to program the engine to look for their mentor or mentee respectively. Do you have any questions about the program? I see you still need to comprehend a bit more, and later on you'll have another opportunity, especially at the end within the discussion. So now I stop sharing and we go back. Meanwhile, if some question comes to your mind, just do not hesitate and put it in the chat or stop me and I will answer immediately. So now we will continue with our slide. Oops. This doesn't work this way. Okay. Here it is. Now let's see what comes next. Next is our invited mentee, Presida, to share her experience in the program. Presida, please, the floor is yours, and maybe I can stop sharing because I know you have some slides.
Thank you, Svetlana. Let me first share my screen.
Yes, please do. If you have any difficulties, just let me know. I have your presentation.
Thank you.
I see it.
Okay.
However, it is not in a...
Yes, I'll just...
slide mode. Slideshow. Yes, right. We see.
Okay. So hello to everybody. Good morning, I believe, but good afternoon also if somebody is joining us from some other part of the world. First of all, thank you so much, Svetlana, Albena, and everybody from the EURAXESS Bulgaria team who is hosting this EURAXESS mentoring program, for giving me this opportunity to share all my experiences with you. And I've been a mentee in this EURAXESS mentoring program since June 2021. And I was, as I was saying, that I was a EURAXESS member prior to that also. And so how did I come to know about the mentoring program? Was because I was a EURAXESS member. I had created a profile or created an account in EURAXESS worldwide, and they somehow put me into EURAXESS India. But I used to browse some of the EURAXESS web pages, and in its very initial stages, I came across this mentoring program, and the way it was structured, I thought it is such a great program. So why not try? Why not see, you know, what this is all about? The whole structure looked very nice to me. So I thought, okay, let me register and let's get to know the program firsthand. So that's how I became a mentee in the mentoring program. And my personal motivation was that I have a PhD now in psychology, so I have always wanted to do a postdoctorate and in a European country. So the heading of the mentoring program was very attractive, shaping the future career of a researcher coming to Europe. So I thought that probably this is one way for me to sort of bridge where I am right now and where I want to be. And my current status in the mentoring program is that I've completed my first mentorship with my mentor from India. His name is Dr. Manish Kumar Asthana, and he works in the field of psychology in a very in a highly reputed institute, research institute in India, the Indian Institute of Technology. And how did I find him? Well, it was both. The matching tool helped me, and I also took some effort. So when I registered in this program, what I did was I chose some things which I thought will be useful, like, okay, I am in search of a mentor, like Svetlana was showing you, how do you choose? And then I identified the areas that that applied to me. And at that time, I felt that it is better to have a mentor in the same field that I am in. Although my views have changed after listening to Svetlana and our mentoring meetings. But yes, at that time, I was new to the program. We were just starting. I think this program must have started in sometime in April, and I was very new at that time. So because I had identified my area, social science and psychology, to be very specific, somehow the matching tool caught that, and it sent me a notification saying that this particular person, this particular mentor has registered as a person who would like to support a mentee in this area. So when I saw that, and the notification came to my email, I went to the EURAXESS website, checked the profile of the person, again, cross-check the profile of the person on his institutional website. And I thought that the areas of his research interests and otherwise also, it broadly matches mine. So I sent him a request and he immediately accepted it. so we did not lose any time. When I found that this was the person whom I could probably choose as my mentor, and he immediately accepted. So it worked both ways. The automatic tool also helped me, and I was also a little active, so it worked well. So coming to the mentoring plan and relationship. So the program gives you a lot of advice and suggestions on how to start, both the mentor and the mentee. So both of us had looked at the document and the video, and we knew that we had to have a plan, and we knew that we should be meeting at least once a month, despite all the engagements that we may have, and we should have a plan in place. And when we meet, so the first time when we met, it was all about getting to know each other and what are our expectations from each other. So every time we met, we would schedule the next meeting, and we would most often than not try to follow it. So basically, it was that we meet for 1 hour, and whatever was suggested in the first meeting that is taken up in the next meeting, I work on it, and if necessary, I keep in contact through email. And I used to take notes. My mentor also used to take a few notes so that we were on the same page. And sometimes we used to share these notes just to know that we are on the same page. Now, about the, just a moment, please. Yes, about the topics that we worked on when we had this plan. So we have to select 3. In this mentoring relationship, we have to select at least 3. So for me, it was career counseling, advancing the professional networking opportunities, funding opportunities, and also to some extent publications. So we both decided that we would work on these 3 topics at least. And if there are some other things coming up in between, we will tackle that as well. And yeah, before talking about the relationship, I think I should first mention what we achieved in this mentoring relationship. So the most important thing that was achieved was my mentor made me revamp my CV completely. So it was a very ordinary CV that I had, and maybe at the time that I had made it, it was a good CV, but right now, and especially if you need an academic CV, then you have to be very specific, to the point, and you have to mention everything that you have done. So he made me do that. He said that he talked to me a lot about, okay, what all have you been doing? So why don't you list that year-wise? He gave me very useful tips on what should be included, what should not be included, how do you structure it. So I feel very confident with having that revamped CV now. And I will be applying this year for the postdoctoral fellowship in the Marie Curie program. So the CV, the revamped CV will help me for that as well. And then another thing that got achieved was he boosted my confidence a lot about career opportunities, job opportunities, career opportunities. He gave me several leads on how I could harness the internet to sort of, further my career. He gave me the names of websites and how I could register on those websites. And he also told me about his own experience with having 2 postdocs outside India, and how we have to approach people whom we want to collaborate with. And so we talked about funding opportunities outside India, within India, even right now, whatever I am doing right now. He said that you can try with various other funding opportunities that are available for you and for some of your students as well, and you can work together. And a third thing that he talked to me about was the importance of having a plan B always. He said that it's good, whatever you're doing now, you are doing what you want to do, and you also have plans of applying for a postdoctoral fellowship. But I have to know that, it is a gamble. If I write a good proposal, yes, my chances do increase, but then you always have to have a plan B if you have high ambitions for your career and if you want to go really far in your career. So these three things, and then he also recommended about joining as reviewer for research journals so that I get more experience in how things are reviewed, journal papers, and even European grants. So I think, he acts as an expert for European Union projects. So he had that experience which he could share with me. And now coming to the relationship, well, I have told you all the good things about what happened, but I have to admit that it was not easy. We started off very well, but in between, because of the engagements that we all have as people, it became a little difficult for both of us to match our times. So when he suggested a particular time, I used to find a little difficult to match my schedule according to that. So there was a little bit of, what can I say, a little bit of unpleasantness between us, but with maturity, with commitment, we sorted this out. And so we identified that this is one time that we will not compromise on. And so for me, it was my lunch time, and for him, it was the most comfortable time. So we said that even if it is for half an hour, we will not compromise. If we have to meet for a next half hour, if we are so busy, then we will, have 2 meetings in 1 month. But this time we will not compromise. So for me, because I had so many other things going on in my workplace, so the lunch hour was the most ideal time to sort of compromise. So after that, then it was very nice. So in between, there was something which could have been a pitfall, but then I think both of us knew that we were interested in this relationship, so we could continue. And did I get what I expected? I think I've already covered this. And yes, one thing that happened is when I met him for the first time online, I told him that the reason I have enrolled in this program is because I want professional advice regarding the proposal that I would be writing for the MSCA postdoctoral fellowship grant. So since he was a reviewer, he said that there is a conflict of interest, so I won't be able to help you much with that. I may offer you general tips and guidance, but I won't be able to help you a lot. So then it was a little bit of a disappointment for me. But then when we talked more about how he could help me and what are my expectations, I thought that this particular relationship can still work, and a lot got achieved. And I think I am satisfied. It was my first time, so I am definitely satisfied with all that we could achieve together. And am I interested in keeping in touch with my mentor? For sure. He has invited me to come to his institution. I also told him that if there are any workshops that we could organize together, even with the help of my institution, some annual workshops that we could organize. And otherwise also, I do plan to keep in touch with him because I will be preparing my proposal. So I do plan to get some general tips on the proposal from him. So definitely it is a relationship that will continue in some way or the other. Now, I have talked about this personal relationship with the mentor. But now what I want to really emphasize here is that this mentoring program, it doesn't really leave you only with your mentor. Okay, you go take care of it. It is not that way. The beauty of this program, and I've always told Svetlana how much I have enjoyed the monthly meetings, because it is really a support system for new entrants. I must have missed just 1 or 2 meetings in this whole time, but every time I feel that, I should be a part of these monthly meetings, listen to the experiences of these new people, not just the mentees, but also mentors join. And then after some discussion, Svetlana and her team were very, proactive in trying to make it even better. They said that, okay, they asked us for feedback, all the people who used to participate, and then they used to have say 1 hour or 45 minutes of an invited person coming and speaking and sharing his or her experience. So that made it all the more interesting, not just interaction, because that was there anyways, but also something that you look forward to in terms of some good story and guidance that you have from a mentor or a person who's very successful in life. So, and here you come and discuss all your problems and see what works, what doesn't work. You may have some questions. You can always interact. So that's a very structured, or I would say at least a semi-structured support system. Nothing binding on everybody, but you can always come and share and contribute. And another very important thing, which keeps me absolutely glued to this mentoring program, is the wonderful webinars and workshops that Svetlana, Albina, and her team have organized for us. And all the possible topics that a researcher should know about, they have covered, I think, from grants, proposal writing, open science, mental health of researchers, so many other things. Like, and some programs have given us hands-on experience related to some exercises, and yes, also soft skills, and you can name it. And I think all of those topics have been covered in these webinars and workshops. And again, like, one very good thing is that there is no restriction on who can participate. It's free of cost, and the content is delivered by experts in the field. I don't know how many days Svetlana and her team must have spent on just identifying these people for us who could deliver. And the best part is, it used to happen to me also that I used to be very interested in joining, but there used to be some personal engagements and I couldn't join. So the recordings of these webinars would be made available to us for watching later. And again, there was no restriction on those recordings as well. So these two things, I think they are the pillars of the program. Apart from the personal relationship and the matching tool that we have in this program, I think these are the pillars. Like, even if you don't have a mentor, you join the program and you don't have a mentor, you still have so much to derive from these monthly meetings and webinars. And yes, there is an existing wide network. So if we have some questions or queries, we can always, go back to those experts who delivered the content and, ask our questions, and they'll be more than happy to reply to us. And what do you think my answer would be to this? Am I interested in continuing the program? Do you ever think I would even think of going out of the program? So I'm here to stay. And in fact, at some point in time, I feel that if I could contribute as a mentor, I'd be very happy to give back. And also, it's about, it's about the whole relationship that in a wider perspective that we create with researchers and the scientific community. And this is my last slide. So I just wanted to give you a sneak peek on my dream, my vision for this mentoring program, for my contribution, for my participation in this program. And I think this whole thing of open to the world, this project, the Top 4 EURAXESS project, this is so apt because we are really creating that network. And I wish it spreads worldwide as a support network for researchers all over the world. And through this, because only when this mentoring relationship is in place, either centrally, like in this mentoring program, or even in smaller places in our own institutions and universities, then will actually science grow. Then can we actually talk about open science. Otherwise, if your mentor is not interested in sharing knowledge with you, if people in the same group, research group, are not interested in sharing knowledge with each other, then what are we talking about open science? So this mentoring, the whole attitude will come only when there is so much support on a macro level as well. So this project and the name it has been given, Open to the World, is perfect, I feel. And going forward, I feel that I would like to collaborate with the EURAXESS network in a way that Indian researchers of all levels can participate as well as contribute as the network grows, because we do have some very highly acclaimed researchers who can also become mentors. They have had experience outside of India. They are involved in very good, meaningful projects. And yes, I feel that this particular program, it sort of advocates for the symbiotic mentoring relationships that researchers can have with each other at all stages in their career. And I always feel that this is like a win-win model for both the researchers as well as the mentees and the mentors, because mentors also are getting a lot of experience. They are widening their networks. Young people are coming to them. They are establishing collaborations with them, working with them on new projects. They are also implementing the open science policies. And the whole thrill of just being in science and being able to contribute to good science. And this is very much required, I feel. Like in India, there is so much of a talk about why there is no mentoring, proper mentoring for researchers. So I think this is there all over the world. If we have to protect the mental health of the scientific community, I think mentoring is one way we could address this particular problem. So with that, thank you so much for your patient listening, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And it's been a great pleasure for me to share my experience. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Prasida. Your words were really kind. I didn't go through your presentation when you sent it, but now I'm really impressed by details that you shared and by your inspiration that you got after joining the program. Colleagues, do you have any questions for Prasida? Just open your mic and speak. We are very few, so no need to raise hands and stuff. Okay, if you have your questions appearing later, you can always post in the chat, and I will definitely answer them or proceed later on, and every question will be answered. Thank you very much, Prasida, and we continue with our presentation. This is the last section before the coffee break that we will have, and it is devoted exactly on the side activities that actually make the program work. Otherwise, it's dead. Without any additional activities, it could not work properly. So how many are they? You see here the list. We had the monthly meetings. You heard a lot about them. We have a survey on the monthly meetings, constantly open, permanently open. Everyone can share their opinion anytime. We started an initiative to invite a speaker at the monthly meetings, and this is usually a famous researcher in their field to share experience with our members. We have also a LinkedIn group We started presenting mentors in the LinkedIn group because if you just see at the profile, you cannot learn a lot about the personality of your mentor. Then we did a series of online training seminars that will continue in the future with new recordings, and very soon the next one will be offered. A bit more about the monthly meetings. This is how they are announced at the news section, and pretty much we always have something about news in the program, what happens, what we offer new, or if someone shares a new idea. Then we present something else, like in this case, it was the internal mentoring program that we just prepared at that time. We definitely have a lot of time devoted to sharing experience. And in this case, we had invited speakers from Ukraine. This was what the survey shows at the moment. Practically, the responses became a bit more, but the picture is pretty much the same. The most that our members value is the sharing experience session. Then definitely all of them are interested in updates on the program, news from EURAXESS, and the additional activities. This is one of our invited, practically the first one. This professor comes from Spain and actually had a joint experience in academia, out of academia, and back to academia as a guest lecturer. He was a famous researcher in Spain in his field, and he shared a lot about mentoring in researcher's life and role models in researcher's life. His presentation was really amazing. So if you're interested to look more about it, it is about 20 minutes, part of the whole meeting, and you can always visit the website of the event and watch the video. In our LinkedIn group, we established it somewhere in November. Currently, the members are more since the day I prepared this presentation. We have a bit more than 270 members. And what we do in this group, we share news, we share lectures, webinars, funding opportunities, job announcements. We present mentors and comments and impressions, recognition of our members. You are free to join. It's open for everyone. I mean, not only members of the program are members of this group. For instance, we have a lot of EURAXESS people in there, even from the Commission are members. So it's really a nice place to network. How we present our mentors. We started in January, I think, or in December. I don't recall exactly. We started presenting our mentors that either recently joined and have no mentorship experience by the moment, but are interested to start as soon as possible, and we announce their availability, or very experienced researchers and mentors. For instance, Alexandrina had currently, I think, about, at that point were 6 mentees, but currently she has more than 8, I think. She's in her 9th mentorship. And Ajit was one of our, how to say, very devoted mentors. He not only mentored his mentee, but also provided opportunities for many other mentees in the program to join conferences, events. He invited Ukrainian researchers to join the program at his university, etc. The online trainings is, we are really proud with that. We started within top 4 with them, with the resources of top 4 and the volunteer participation of some of our trainers. They are all members of EURAXESS and they are specialists in their area. But after giving a training to our mentoring program members, any of them became a mentor. All of them. I'm really proud with that. The last one was given on 28th of March, and now in June we continue under EURAXESS Hubs project. If you haven't heard about it, this is a currently ongoing EURAXESS project for piloting the EURAXESS Hubs. And right now in June, we will have our next training available to our members. And now we came to the point of our coffee break. After the coffee break, you'll have opportunities to, let's say, ask more questions in the discussion session, or to learn more interesting details about internal mentoring programs. For now, we stop and we will be back in 15 minutes. Enjoy your break. Good morning, Curie.
Good morning, Svetlana.
Nice to talk to you again, and thank you for joining our mentoring program. We will now discuss a bit about your experience, and I will ask you several questions in this regard.
Okay, Svetlana.
First of all, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, what is your specialty, the topic of your dissertation, where do you work, and where do you live at the moment? Where are you based?
My name is Yuri Stasovsky. I am a Master of Finance and Master of Law. I am manager. I manage financial companies. These financial companies are part of the large Ukrainian agricultural holding kernel. I live in Kyiv. For the last 6 years, I've been studying creativity techniques that help create innovative products and solve inventive problems. To systematize knowledge, I decided to write a PhD dissertation. The topic of my dissertation is combinatorics of creativity techniques in innovative entrepreneurship.
Thank you very much. So I understand you are in Kyiv, right? How is there? Is it dangerous, or you still can work?
Oh, frankly speaking, nowadays really some dangerous, because we sound alarms, and we know that some bombs down around the city, and really we have disgusting situation.
Yeah, I know that.
In country, in
as far as I remember, you have a kid, and you still keep living in Kiev with your family, right? Although it's quite dangerous. And the kid is very small, right?
Yes, yes. My son, 6 years old, but we need to work together with wife, and we need to return to Kiev. And nowadays we in Kiev.
Mm-hmm. So you had some experience with leaving Kiev for a while, but you were still in Ukraine?
Yes, I need to be in Ukraine because I can't to leave Ukraine because I'm man, and I can't to cross abroad. Uh, but I have some
Yes, I know. I know this regulation. And your family preferred to stay with you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much for these personal details. You know, our audience will be very interested in some more details about your case in Ukraine. So let's continue with our questions. How did you learn about the mentoring program?
Frankly speaking, I learned about the mentoring program from Sasha Ivashchenko, a Science for Ukraine project manager. I wrote her a letter and she answered me promptly. She sent several options, including EURAXESS Mentoring Program resource. From Sasha Ivashchenko.
Okay, thank you very much for this information. We work very well with Sasha, and EURAXESS cooperates with Science for Ukraine very closely. So thanks to Sasha, you learned about the program. But you learned from her, and then you decided to register. Why did you do that? What was your motivation?
Despite the war in Ukraine, the inability to leave the country, I want to continue my scientific work. Creativity techniques are my passion, and I decided to use the opportunity to use mentoring support in this particular time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's really important to keep your engagement with your profession in a wartime so that you can keep sane. War is not an easy stuff. What did you do after the registration? You started waiting until the automatic tool suggests you a suitable mentor, or you began to search yourself with the search functionality of the tool?
After registering, I tried to look for a mentor on my own, but I could not find mentors with my scientific direction. When I got the automatic selection of mentors, I decided to use it.
Okay.
And I obtained email letter with proposition. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. It's interesting experience, because usually if you use the tool, you're much more informed about possible mentors in the program, and you can find much faster such. However, you might look in a very, very specific close view of your, how to say, subspecialty in finance. So that for this reason, you might not be able to find the mentor immediately with your search. However, with a much wider specialty as just finance, as you maybe saved the search finance, then the automatic tool suggested you suitable mentors and you decided to use them. This is a very important feedback about how it works. Thank you. How many mentors did you request at once for a mentorship?
Frankly speaking, I request only 2 mentors.
Okay, this number of 2 is quite good. Even 3 would be better, because sometimes some of the mentors are already engaged, so they might not be able to respond positively. In this regard, if you ask more, someone still should be available and you might get a mentor faster. If you wait, if you request only 1, let's say, and if you wait, then he or she might not be available. Then for the answer, then the next one, then the next one, and this makes a longer time. Okay, so now you got a positive answer of 1 of 2. Am I right?
One request worked.
Yes.
Sonia
Yeah.
Mileva, yes, from University
Of Sofia.
Sofia agreed to be my mentor, but other mentor doesn't agree to be my mentor.
The other mentor did not. Okay, maybe in the future you can get another one. But for now, with Sonia Mileva, you already started working. How is your mentorship going right now?
Frankly speaking, together with Sonia, we've chosen the direction of joint activity. We will write a research paper on academic entrepreneurship, and I'm surprised, frankly speaking, concerning our communication, and I'm pleased.
Thank you very much. This is the good news, because okay, very often mentorships end up with cooperation in some project, articles, as you say, and other cooperation. But to start from the very beginning, this means that your mentorship works very well. What is your opinion about the program at this stage of mentoring?
Problem?
No, not problem. What is your opinion about the program at this stage of mentoring? Do you think that this mentoring program works and it is useful?
Okay, frankly speaking, it is a useful program, and I'm pleased with cooperation with Sonia. She really helps me, gives me information to study, and we have effective communication.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you think you would like to start a new mentorship after the current one is over?
If possible, I would like to start a new mentorship later. I did the training Creativity in Innovation, Effective Techniques, and would like to make a MOOC in English together with the mentor. I also want to conduct a series of surveys related to writing my dissertation. I'd like to ask leading companies what creativity techniques they use to develop innovative products. I know that many universities have various connections with companies, and together with a mentor, we would conduct such a study and in future write a good article together.
Okay, in this regard, I can suggest you to apply for the other EURAXESS mentoring program that relates to cooperation with industry. It will open new call for mentors and mentees, maybe in the near future, next year. And please keep in touch, and I will send you the link to this program in order to see how it works and how cooperation with industry through it could be helpful and useful for you. Okay, would you recommend to a colleague to join the program?
Yes, really. This is interesting and useful program, and I will recommend this program my colleagues because I have broad communications. Yes, of course.
Thank you very much, Yuri. And really, indeed, I think the Rebecca mentoring program will be very helpful for you. I will send you the links. For now, goodbye and keep in touch.
Thank you very much, Svetlana, for support. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Simona, for helping me with the video. This was, for me, it was an interesting experience yesterday, and I really learned a bit because it actually our communication yesterday lasted a bit longer. I learned a lot of details. If you have any questions to Yuri, you please do not hesitate to write them in the chat, and I will provide answers after end of the tour. Now let's continue and see how do we cooperate with other programs and activities. I mentioned once that we use LinkedIn group, and this is a really very helpful tool for networking. As a supporting instrument for a mentoring program or any kind of other type of activity related to career development of researcher, a LinkedIn group is a really useful thing. You can share, you can keep them as a network involved in your activities, and I really appreciate this opportunity. We also cooperate with the referent program. This is a Marie Curie mentoring program that is related to mental health of researchers. How this cooperation looks like? It's actually with a joint activity between the two programs and exchange of links to our programs and to our activities. We did a virtual seminar together with their coordinator in January, and as with other webinars, the speakers, all of them registered as mentors, and I'm really happy for that. The video seminar and the recording and the materials are available at the webpage of the event, and you all, just like other events and seminars and trainings, you can distribute to your researchers if they are interested in the topics. Rebecca, this is another EURAXESS mentoring program, but it is very different and very specific one. It is about cooperation with industry, and it had several issues. It is led by our Spanish colleagues, and in 2019 they started within one of the EURAXESS projects. They started it on national level within Spain only. Then in the next year they prepared another program that is another stage of the program that is enlarging with several also partners in the same task. And currently, it's running on European level, its third stage. It's envisaged to continue in the future, and it doesn't use an online tool. Everything is done manually by the colleagues because of the specificity of the program. They look for a specific mentor for each of the mentees from the very same area of research, however, from industry. And the difference that they had before and now is that at the beginning, people joined just as people, as researchers, the mentors. However, now already the companies know about the program, and usually now the company joins the program and sends mentors to Rebecca in order to look for a future employee. This is a very good and interesting outcome, and research to business events take place right now in June. One already passed and another one is soon to come. All the announcements you can find on extranet. And what we did together, there was a seminar about intersectoral mobility and mentoring schemes, joint webinar between the two coordinators, me and Javi from Spain. And the recording, also the material, is available on the event page. We also cooperate with EURAXESS worldwide. This is not possible to attract third country researchers to our mentoring program, to our trainings and seminars, unless you keep contacts and exchange information with EURAXESS worldwide officers. This is very important, and I really encourage you to all of you cooperate with them. Whatever new information you have on national level, like funding program, opening calls, some kind of events, conferences that are online or joint, present and online combined, please do send them to the worldwide officers. They will spread and you'll get your audience much larger. What we did together with the worldwide, we recorded at the very beginning. I showed you on About Us webpage of the program, sharing experience video with the mentor and with the mentee. This video is posted on the worldwide YouTube channel, also on EURAXESS Bulgaria channel. The links are, as you saw, available on the embedded in the web page, and anytime you can learn more, or if you would like to demonstrate to someone internal impressions from the program, you can always use this video. What else we did? We did EURAXESS Asian seminar just recently, 31st of May this year, and the materials will be soon published on the worldwide webpage. Also the video recording. It was about intersectoral mobility and mentoring schemes, similar but not exactly to the one that we delivered for our researchers registered in the mentoring program. How do we cooperate with the Science for Refugees initiative of the European Commission under EURAXESS? You may have heard that their research. Practically, we do have an informal hub for serving refugee researchers. This is a follow-up of bridge projects, and we established on extranet Era for Ukraine and Science for Refugee collab. Everyone is more than welcome to join. It is the most recent one. So when you open extranet and go on the list of collabs, it is just on the top. So you are more than welcome to join and learn how it works. From these two projects that I said, bridge projects that we participated, all the refugee researchers that were served under these two projects, more than 150, we continue cooperating with them and serving them. So they were invited to all of our additional activities after end of this project. So they were also invited to the mentoring program. And they, I can say, make a quite good use of it. Some of them registered as mentors, others as mentees, and they spread this among their communities, this opportunity. So we have quite good number of refugee researchers based in Europe or outside. Wait a second. Donica excused herself for leaving. Thank you very much, Donica, for joining us.
Thank you, Svetlana. Thank you,
And
Svetlana.
keep
Bye.
in touch. Bye for now.
Bye.
So, as I said, refugee researchers make quite good use of this program. How do we cooperate with Science for Ukraine? You remember Yuri mentioned that he learned practically about EURAXESS Mentoring Programme from the coordinator of Science for Ukraine volunteer initiative that actually, if you don't know anything about it, you can just visit this website. It started with 2 or 3 people at the beginning of the war, quite after the beginning. And since then, the growth is amazing. Now more than 120 people work for Science for Ukraine voluntarily. This is a volunteer initiative. And what they do is actually publish opportunities for Ukrainian researchers for remote work. This is the most important thing, for open positions, for grants, for other type of support like accommodation, etc. So with Sasha, Alexandra Ivashchenko, we started cooperating quite immediately for understandable reasons. Bulgaria, although not a direct neighbor of Ukraine, but a very popular destination in Ukraine. So, and there is also a huge areas in Ukraine where there live Ukrainians with Bulgarian roots. So we have a quite big number for the size of our country, not like Poland, of course, but quite big number of Ukrainian refugees. That's why, and especially among them, not like in the previous wave of migrants, right now a lot of researchers and university teachers. So we were really looking for something that could make a synergy with our activities, and we came across to Science for Ukraine. We started with Sasha from the very beginning cooperation, and this cooperation gives a good benefit to a lot of Ukrainian researchers. We did one of our meetings devoted to the crisis in Ukraine, to the war, and the crisis in their lives, especially in the research life and communities. Many universities are destroyed or stopped working. People mostly are trying to work from home. When we, okay, all of us have this experience with the pandemic, but with the war, the case is a bit different. So what we did together to publish and to exchange information on EURAXESS and on Science for Ukraine, to structure this information, to invite researchers to joint activities like mentoring program. There is another mentoring program that runs from Science for Ukraine section in UK and is devoted to getting involved, Ukrainian researchers getting involved with UK funding. So this is what we did at the monthly meeting. We had one of the deputy ministers of Ministry of Science and Education in Ukraine in our monthly meeting. We heard from firsthand what they really need, how the remote work is the most important thing to be offered, and what kind of other initiatives could serve better for surviving of Ukrainian researchers. You know, mostly women live at the moment, but we have to take care for those also that are in place in Ukraine, like Yuri. Let me see in the chat. Thank you, Therese, for joining us, and keep in touch. We will be posting later on the video, so you'll be able to watch it until the end. So now is the session for question and answers. However, I would suggest, if you don't have, if you have any, of course, you are more than welcome to ask. But I would suggest, if there is not an immediate question, is there any? Either write them in the chat, or rather keep the stuff for our discussion session. So now let me check first whether our invited mentor is already available. List of participants. Tanya, I see you are here in the chat. This is Professor Tatiana Angelova. So this is the way we presented her in our LinkedIn group. And Tanya, do you want to share your slides yourself, or you prefer I to share them and I to move them instead for you?
But maybe if you want to move them to prevent other technical problems. Maybe.
Okay, I will now open, and in between
I have sent my video.
Yeah, you please introduce yourself. Oops, sorry.
That's all right. So we will waste the time.
Yeah, okay. Just present yourself, introduce yourself until I open and share the video.
Yeah, a few words about me. I'm a university lecturer, and I'm a member of this program since 2021 year. So it is really great chance for me to share knowledge, ideas, of course, my experience. So, I'm author of various presentations, articles, textbooks as a university lecturer, of course. And it is an important part of my experience to be National Research Coordinator for Pearls. So I teach MA and PhD courses And finally, I think that my experience is rich to share with young researchers, young PhD students, and I'm making this with mentees. And I want to start with words about our learning community. So, in my opinion, collaboration between mentees and mentor is a good base for collaboration and good base for creating a learning community. And let's say about my mentees, of course, please move to other, yeah. I say about me, and if somebody is interested of my scientific production, will read about it. And now about my mentees. And I will start with Eileen Young, young, high motivated researcher, PhD student from China. And second mentee is Ira Dharmavanti, young, high motivated researcher, PhD student from Indonesia. And Sandra Tony Dandel, young, high motivated researcher, PhD student from Brazil. And all of them are scientists who deal with educational sciences. And upcoming mentorship is with Ainur Zauchieva, PhD from Kyrgyzstan. And we just start with our collaboration. And I will start with our first contacts and choosing ways of communication, because it is, of course, important aspect. And we discuss about two types, asynchronous and synchronous. Of course, asynchronous as email, Google Drive for shared folders with resources, regular EURAXESS resources, plus additional resources connected with specific terms, themes, problems, questions. And of course, synchronous, we prefer using Zoom and Google Meet. And I want to fix that at least one meeting per month in time, comfortable for everybody, of course, fixed in advance. I want to mention that it's not easy thing to fix the time, because the time difference was 6 hours and so on. But that's okay. So of course, when we collaborate, we have followed the EURAXESS rules for mentors and mentees. And this is really good rules, but there were suggestions and good practice. We have made every month online meeting personal for everybody from mentees, and Eileen from China has suggested to have shared online meeting for discussion. That was a real great idea for all of us. We have had 4 shared online meetings till now about EURAXESS topics and topics suggested by my mentees. For example, how to be a good researcher, how to make analysis of data deeper and detailed. What is the difference between discourse analysis and critical discourse analysis? Which applications are appropriate for data analysis? How to make your own article appropriate for international audience, and so on. So that's really good questions, and we discussed them, and I think this was really useful activity for us. And here I want to show screenshot about EURAXESS resources from Google Drive. It's really comfortable way, and I create a special for everybody mentees folder with resources. And this is for seminar series soon, English tools, and so on. And another screenshot. That one. Thank you very much. And this is screenshot from our discussions. Of course, we write our notes, our questions, our shared ideas with tools of Google Drive, and it is very, very comfortable. So we have an archive for our talkings. Yeah. And here is an example, personal Ira Dharmavanti's folder for our collaboration. And Ira went with me, tried to structure folders concerning her interests about research instruments, about funding, about open sources, and so on. And I want to underline that Ira is very high motivated, very hard worker scientist, and she is PhD of Vienna University too, and her dissertation then is really interesting. And I want to say a few words about discussion. Most of the problems in our community are scientific, and that's good. And they cover EURAXESS topics, especially academic writing and publishing and conducting of own research, open science, searching data. But these problems are challenges for intensive collaboration. There are well-structured EURAXESS rules and procedures for comfortable and productive academic communication. And I want to use the case to express my gratitude for this, of course. Yeah. And finally, of course, I want to put emphasis on an atmosphere in academic exchange of ideas, absolutely free of charge, informal, dialogic, and inspiring. And I want to say that I am proud of my mentees. Yes, in a few words, the study is an adventure, and it is real pleasure for me to be in it. Thank you to all of the colleagues in EURAXESS, especially to Mrs. Svetlana Dimitrova as coordinator. She's excellent coordinator. Thank you, Svetlana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tanya. I want to add here that Tatiana participates also in creation of our internal mentoring program that I will tell you a bit later about it. And if you have any questions now for Tanya, if you want to learn something more about mentoring from the perspective of the mentor, please just take the floor and ask. It doesn't work properly. I see there are no questions at the moment. So I will start sharing the screen for our internal mentoring program. For some reason, it doesn't want to start. I suppose this time it will. Do you see it in a full screen view?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, now about internal mentoring programs and what is the link between the international and the internal program in our case. These are the home pages of both programs. They are both posted in one and the same website. And the differences and the similarities that we have, because we used International Mentoring Program, Shape the Future of a Researcher Coming to Europe, as a base for our building our internal one. We found out in the process that it could not be the same. I mean, we cannot just translate whatever is in the international one and start one internal. Why? Because the objectives differ. The International Mentoring Program has the objective to facilitate the mobility of researchers. And usually they are one and the same specialty area. The objective is also to transfer the knowledge sharing of good practice, to raise awareness about the soft skills and international mobility, and to strengthen the links between the institutions from ERA and EURAXESS worldwide. In the internal program, it's not possible to have the same objectives. The organization has its own goals when it comes to integration of researchers, new PhD students, for instance, or incoming PhD students in the organizational culture. Also in orientation of the scientific environment, how to plan their research career, how to create and develop a known network of scientific contacts, how to acquire the scientific skills that are also applicable outside, so-called soft skills, and how to, very important, master and improve teaching competencies, which is a very, very important goal for university as an organization. Other type of differences, as I mentioned, apart from the objectives that are in international personal development and in the organization, includes also organizational development. Another key element is the similar or same main specialty in international program, because researchers from one and the same specialty would like to learn how the research system in their specialty works in other countries, in other organizations. And in the internal program, it is really a must to have a different specialty, and you'll see why. There are also differences and specifics in the topics that we predefined. Okay, we decided to have also 6 topics that are predefined, but they are pretty much different than those that are in the international program. One important and totally different is academic teaching, as I said. Okay. But still we do have some common stuff. And we use the same tool for first. It is on the same website. All the researchers that would like to join either internal or international or both use the same tool, register on the same website, and join in a mentoring couple through the same automatic tool. This is practically the synergy that brings much more to both of the programs than if it operates alone. The similarity is also the number of predefined topics, and the option to choose some other. You take at least 3 of the predefined topics as a must in your mentoring plan, and then you add more that are of specific interest of the mentee. And the continuation is also the same, 6 months. We also use mentoring plan as a bone to the whole program, to the whole mentorship experience. Because without a mentoring plan, you cannot mark your advancement, you cannot structure your cooperation. And for this, we insist each of the couples in both programs to have prepared in advance a mentoring plan that they will follow throughout their mentorship, and the mentee has to prepare also questions for each of the sessions to be discussed and to be sent in advance to the mentor, what is indeed very important for good outcomes. On their side, the mentors has to prepare some additional material, some suggestions, some links and tasks for the mentee for the next session, and the mentee has to be prepared for the next meeting. Common thing in both programs is also the use of the virtual training that is available on EURAXESS website. These are the same training events that I showed you in the previous slides. However, here you see that after end of the first group of training events, we discussed with the Commission and we prepared a sub-page on the main EURAXESS portal that is for researchers. In career development section, you see it is underlined with yellow, the section. And this sub-page is devoted to the virtual training and webinars, and all 11 are already posted in there. What are the advantages of participating in internal program? Of course, they are twofold, because both sides benefit, just like in the international program, and both sides develop new skills, new knowledge, they share ideas and new contacts, and expand their scientific network. But most important is that they create professional and interdisciplinary collaboration. In nowadays world, you know that interdisciplinarity of the research is a very hot topic, because it comes out that you cannot just go deep in one specific area without cooperation with other research areas. So this cooperation also helps to achieve their scientific goals through the shared experience and ideas, as I said. So how did we start? How came the idea? We got a request at a certain point of running of the international program. We got a request from University of Leuven in Belgium to use the tool for internal mentoring. And it made me think a lot. I thought to myself, but why not? It's quite possible if all of them are registered. Why not? They can find themselves easy, and also they have the opportunity for synergy of the both programs. So I asked the IT team whether it is possible to, from technical point of view, to use the same tool. And we decided that for the beginning, until the number of internal programs becomes critical, we will use the same tool without any program change. We will just ask the people that register for internal program to add after their name the abbreviation of their institution. This way, others can recognize them as people from the same organization, and they can use the automatic tool or the searching engine and request mentorship. This was perfect. We immediately formed an informal group of volunteers to discuss this opportunity. And when we entered the preparation stage, we enlarged the group and prepared the documents and the guides. Then we presented our proposal to the management and we got a go. Within few months, we were ready to start it, and we published the subpage, conducted a webinar for promotion among our staff, and we started. So how it happened? It was based on the personal motivation. One of our colleagues today asked how could we attract mentors, how we could motivate them. And yes, of course, at the beginning, you have to always rely on personal motivation. Most of the volunteers that started with the internal one were already members of the international program, as it was the case of Professor Angelova. Tanya joined the working group, this informal group that started developing the internal program from the very first point. Immediately when I announced, she said, okay, I'm in. It's a very useful thing. I admire your efforts and we have to do it. So how we came up with the objectives? We found out in discussions that we need different ones. We discussed a lot until we formulate properly the new objectives, respecting the organizational culture, the teaching skills, etc. Then we started discussing with the topics. We, at this point, reached to our PhD students, volunteers that wanted to help for preparing this program. And they suggested what would be most beneficial for them. I have to admire here the contribution of PhD students of Sofia University that are currently on Erasmus exchange or a kind of a short grant outside the organization abroad. They all joined our discussions, our mentoring programs, and contributed a lot. Because they understood how important it is when you are in a new, totally new environment to be integrated faster, how crucial it is. So we decided also about the meetings that in comparison with the international program, we do not need all the meetings to be virtual. So we established in the rules that there will be at least one in person, in order for them as colleagues in one and the same organization to meet each other and to get closer. About areas of expertise, we decided that they must be different ones. Why? So we found out that the mentoring, internal mentoring is substantially different by activities, by objectives, and duties. Duties of the mentor and the supervisor in one of the same organization are different. What makes them a group of people that work together and joins their effort is practically the fact that they share one and the same workload and the responsibility for the development of a young scientist. Because in the past, there were, before we had a mentoring program, there were all of the topics, all of the responsibilities, all of everything on the shoulders of the scientific advisor or supervisor rather. And most of them have more than one, sometimes even much more researchers, PhD students on their shoulders, and they don't have enough time to devote to each of them personally. In this regard, we decided that the mentor will deal with the general guidance and assistance for orientation, adaptation to the environment, and other commitments. However, the supervisor will remain with the implementation of the scientific goals, dissertation research of the young scientist. So we recommended that their expertise should be from different scientific fields, and even better, they to be from different faculties. This shared responsibility and workload, according to our analysis, would contribute to faster and more effective results in the development of the young researcher, will also contribute to developing a spirit of cooperation in the academic staff. For instance, Sofia University is quite a large university, as I shared. We have 16 faculties. There are even people in one and the same faculty that they don't know each other. What to say when it comes to the different faculty? So spirit of cooperation is very important. Developing a sense of a common goal, collectiveness in its achievement, greater responsibility to the fate of a young researcher. And of course, better mental health. You remember Priscilla mentioned this in her presentation. I didn't see her presentation before. She sent it yesterday evening, and we agreed immediately by email that she will present it, and I just have it in case something technically happens. I didn't see that she talks about mental health, but this is very important. The first stage researchers, PhD students, especially in their first year, they're in high stress. Everything is new. The pressure is very high. And when their scientific supervisor is engaged with many other stuff and cannot share time with them and answer all of their questions and discuss with them their difficulties, they feel isolated, they feel kind of stressed to the point that some of them really drop the PhD study. However, with the help of a mentor that is from totally different specialty, is not directly related with their department, then they are much more open to talk together and share difficulties. And the mentor is much more able to help this young researcher, because only by talking with them, but also because he or she is not involved directly in their scientific research that leads to their dissertation. So by this, we create a better environment in our university, in our academic community, and we succeed to have, will succeed hopefully, to have a better and much more effective integration of foreign PhD students too. And now we come to the recognition of the contribution. Of course, they start as volunteers. It's not possible to start something, excuse me, just, oops, back, previous slide. Of course, it's not possible to start something from zero when you start something that in very conservative area of education, something that was never done before. So you need very highly motivated, self-motivated people. So with the start, it's fine. You have to have such, and we easily got them. But with the time, it's not enough to have their own personal motivation. It's important also to develop training for mentors, to develop skills for mentoring, abilities, desire among the academic staff, and it doesn't happen by itself. So you need to devote efforts and structured efforts from the management and from the administrative staff in order to develop the feeling and the willingness for mentorship. Also, with the time, okay, we start with volunteer participation, and at a certain stage, for instance, if there are researchers at the university that manage to mentor 10 and more mentees, and at the same time, others who didn't want to participate at all in this program, then you have to start somehow recognize their effort and their contribution to the goals. As an organization has to recognize their effort. So we decided that at a certain point, we will make a structured proposal to the management for adding this recognition in the participants' attestation. So it will bring at a certain point some points in their attestation, regular attestation. What else we agreed on was that mentoring can be carried out by full-time lecturers and researchers that are on permanent contract, also by part-time ones, including the retired lecturers and researchers. They have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and they have willingness to share this and time to share this knowledge. Why lose them? They go on pension, but if they are interested, they are fully available to be part of this program and to continue contributing to development of our internal academic community. So, how we started? We started with a very small number of researchers. Currently, 11 are registered. We send them introduction letters. Of course, with this number, automatic matching is not possible. We need a critical mass. That's why we currently manually match them. And this makes a bit more effort in sending emails, etc., but it works. We already have few couples matched, and 2 of them even started working. And my final words here are related to some facts and some conclusion. What was, maybe you are interested, what was the most oftenly chosen topic in the international program? It was career counseling, second presentation and publication. The map shows how it grows with the time. 1.5 years ago, it just started and was popular only here in some countries of Europe. Now we have grown by 150 million visits only for 1 month. And we reached number of 1,000 and more than 100 visits on the web page per month. When we included Ukraine in the initiative, we started the same way, as you can see, from 5 to 27 visits on the website for 2 months. And what is our audience? We have the group of researchers at age of between 25 and 34 growing, increasing in number. And we have female, the group of female researchers also increasing. Even now it is more than a half, more than 50%, but it keeps with the time growing in percentage. So this is another good side of this mentoring program. We found out that by nature it is very attractive for female researchers, and it contributes a lot to development of their career. And last words, how to be successful, you need just to be active, not register and stay. There are mentors and mentees that registered and never had even a one mentor or a mentee. Others have more than 5 or 7 mentors and mentees. So it depends on personal personal attitude towards the action. Why did you register if you don't do anything after that? What you expect? Someone to come and to do the job for you? Not possible. So we call to both mentors and mentees in both programs to respect the intercultural differences and also research system differences, organizational culture differences, and personality specifics. Very important is to keep in mind about the psychological and emotional aspects of communication, and follow definitely the ethical principles of the mentoring program. So in conclusion, mentoring starts with an opportunity, and it is successful when both sides are active. It is practically, as also Procida mentioned in her slides, that is a win-win outcome. It helps our researchers to advance faster. It opens the door of networking and cooperation and makes the career choices better. Thus, we build the global research community. And this is the illustration how the mentoring starts and goes back to the beginning. One researcher starts as a mentee, finds a mentor, makes career growth happening, assisting to each other, and at the end they become mentors. So thank you very much. We now go in our discussion. I would like to ask every one of you to answer these questions by in a roundtable version. So who wants to start? We are not at school. I will not show you by alphabetical order who to talk. Read the questions. They are simple and relate to what we did together today.
Maybe I can start if.
Yeah, please go ahead, Simona.
So if I know something about the program before, like I knew that there is some kind of mentoring program, but I didn't have further information about this. So this study tour was very useful for me, and now I know in more details how does it work, and so it was very useful for me. If I'm interested to spread invitation to your researchers, of course, I think that this is a great opportunity to researchers to grow in the career path. So if possible, I will spread the information about this program. If we have the internal mentoring program, maybe at some Slovak university they have some kind of program, but I'm not very sure about this. And what else?
If you're interested to implement internal mentoring program, just using our experience in that. This is just to make you aware that it is possible to open for free mentoring program. Practically 2 other Bulgarian universities at the moment are working on that, and they will soon open and will be listed in there. So any other researcher visiting our page will be also informed that your organization also offers an internal mentoring program that is kind of a promotion opportunity for your organization.
And then there is the last question, and I think that I already answered at the beginning that this was very useful, and I would also take this as an opportunity to thank you that you decided to present this topic in the framework of EURAXESS Hub project. And I also think that the speakers had really interesting presentations, and it was quite useful to hear the presentation from a mentor and also mentee. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Simona. Someone else?
All right, so I may go now.
Please go ahead.
All right, of course, I've known about the program before. I just wanted to learn more. Particularly, I keep wondering how best to promote it, because it's not something I can do in my organization because I don't represent a university. I'm just a national agency. But I was thinking, because our agency funds programs for scientists, and maybe if we could promote the mentoring program alongside with the funding programs, maybe that would go well. So I keep thinking about how to promote this mentoring program. And of course, the visit was interesting and useful. I have been experiencing the internet malfunction, so I missed some of it. But otherwise, I think it's excellent that you're sharing, and all those initiatives, I find them extremely useful because of their simplicity. It's this matchmaking tool that is so easy, and well, all it takes is someone who is willing to share their experience. So I hope that will work soon better in Poland. And of course, internal mentoring program is not applicable in our situation, but again, something we can promote among the IGEIs. Yes.
Oh, sorry, Svetlana, we cannot hear you.
Sorry. Thank you very much. I have to share with you that we have a good number of Polish researchers in the program registered and very good mentors as well. And a few of them also decided to have a Ukrainian mentee in the initiative of joint effort with Science for Ukraine. So thank you very much. I will be happy to have more than that. So thank you again. And the next one.
I could say also that I knew the program, or well, parts of it. I also knew Rebecca, and I thought they were quite useful for what we are trying to build. ULB, so here in Brussels, we have indeed a newly arrived academic mentorship program. But we were testing not long ago one for PhDs as well, outside, in and out of academia. And now, because ULB is part of one of the European University Alliances, so we have 10 partners, we are looking at how to encourage cooperation in between our universities. So we thought that a career development program would help us, because you mentioned, I think, also the relation with Marie Curie, for example, or it was one of the mentees. And we want to encourage as well the submission of projects and so on. So we're also testing training on career development, and basically all in all was pointing us to the direction of a career development program and mentorship program together with a training. And yes, yeah, okay, we have an internal mentoring program, but this, as you were mentioning, it's more international. So the one that we have in mind right now is international, and it's also related to outside academia as well. What else? I think, are you interested to implement one using the tool and as you experience? Sure. I mean, for me, everything is welcome, and I always try to attend this kind of things because I form myself, and it's a training for me, and to hear all the testimonies. So thanks a lot. Actually, it was quite useful. You're muted, Svetlana.
Yeah, thank you very much, ladies. By this, we end up our tour among the international and internal program. I am happy that you're interested, and I suppose we will continue cooperate on this opportunity. I will add to this presentation a slide or a document that you can spread about promoting the program, small leaflet, and that is actually a tool for making your researchers aware about the opportunity. So thanks again, and keep in touch. The recording and the material, the video and leaflet will be available soon on the event page. So
thank you.
Thank you.
By this,
thank you very much for attention, for attendance. Good luck to everybody. Thank you, Seta.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a nice,
Bye.
a nice weekend.
Bye-bye. Bye.